Okay, just a quick overview of my 3V system. I was a brewer and a bagger for a few years. Great way of making beer. But I wanted to start recircling to clarify the wort and put in a heat exchanger. So the system's designed around making 3 cubes of beer for the no chillers. That's 3 times 25 litre batches, or for the Americans, 5 gallon. So I've got an 82 litre keg all wrapped up just to keep insulated pretty well. Got 2 2200 watt heating elements in the back just to heat it up. Still takes about an hour to hit strike temp, but not too bad. So we've got the standard March pump under his little house there. I've insulated the lines just to try and help not have too much temperature drop, because you really want a nice stable temperature in the wort. We don't want it fluctuating too much and getting unpredictable results out of it. So the mash tun is a 100 litre stainless steel pot. He's got the same blue insulation on him. With this one I've got a concealed element 2400 watt in the bottom. There's an internal rim setup running from this controller down here. So basically he controls the element and the probe goes in through here and straight in, and the actual probe pickup is from directly above the heating element. That way if we get a stuck mash and we get no flow, it's going to sense the temperature straight away and just turn the element off. So it's a 100 litre pot. We've got a fairly decent sort of recirc happening there. It's supposed to be a Pilsner, but it looks bloody dark. Never made this recipe before, it's just one I pulled off from the internet. It's actually a Grolsch recipe. So I've got the rims in the bottom, and I've got what's been released in Australia, basically called the Hermit. So it's just a kettle element heating in the bottom, and then a coil in the top with standard in and outs. I've made mine slightly different. I've got the element coming from the bottom with a housing extension on here, with the cord coming out the side. It's given me a bit of extra height, which is good because I've got such a big vessel next to it. I can actually tie it off to the handle to make it nice and stable. It's got the standard temperature probe that goes inside. The probe comes down to about here, where the actual temp's getting picked up from, and then just resets back in for a standard copper return arm with just holes out, 6 holes down the sides. Works pretty well. I can run the March pump on full. The 2 temperatures are pretty stable now. So this one here is the internal rims temp, and that's the outlet from the HERMS. At the moment the HERMS is switched off and only the rim switches off and on. So you can see the mash bed at the bottom always is slightly cooler than that sort of outlet from the HERMS there. And the temperature over here is the HLT. It's just bringing up my sparge water at the moment. Standard sight gauge. Got one of these little toys. Don't know how much you can see on there. Digiflow. And I was hoping not to need the sight glass, but I found the Digiflow seemed good when I was measuring 5 litres, but when I'm dumping 50 odd litres through, it's actually got up to a 10% error rate. So basically I'm going to be disconnecting it and getting rid of it. The kettle, sorry about the light from behind it, but it's a 140 litre pot, and we're running 2 standard NASs or turkey burners under there. They get nice and hot with the high pressure eggs. I find that these days I'm only doing a 69 litre batch and brewing in my carport here. I can actually get away with 1 NASA burner, no problems. Obviously 2 just gets to the bowl a lot quicker. I'm thinking of long term converting it into an electric kettle, but I'm trying to find an element that's reliable, because at the moment I've been using the Keg King 2200 watt ones and I haven't had a good run on them so far. I purchased 2, 1 got replaced under warranty because the end of it leaked water into it and shorted out. The replacement one is now rusting, which isn't good for a stainless steel element. They're over the back here, putting into the kettle. Sorry about the upside down shot there. All the grain dumped in the corner over there. Just gonna go back into the storage. But that's the system. Later on I'm going to clean this old brew stand up from the brew in a bag rig. So it will be a non-heat source, and then if I keep the NASs for the kettle, I'll build it its own proper stand out of stainless steel so it doesn't burn all the paint off all the time. So I was going to do a quick pH test. So, sorry about taking pictures of random things now. Grab a little pH strip. Shove them in there for a couple of secs. Bring them out. Wait a few seconds to get a number. And then this is going to be almost impossible, but we can see the colour says we're basically on 5.4, so pretty close. Definitely not 5.8, and it's too dark for 5. So 5.4 is definitely the closest one. That's not too bad. These Pilsner style beers are always harder to get your pH correct. So that's about it. I don't know if you can see that, but we've been mashing for 34 minutes. So I'm gonna go pour myself a beer and see how we go. Actually, I did have one more test I was going to show you, which was, at the moment you see the bottom of the mash says it's 64.5, but the element's actually running. The top 66.4. Actually just going to see what temperature this actual probe comes up at. $65.5, which is basically what the bottom says. It's actually interesting that, yeah, measuring it there. Maybe I should put the probe, you know, in here somewhere. But yeah, we'll see how we go with that. And if I actually put the probe into the hermit in the little vent hole, just wait for it to stabilise a bit. Probably can't read that. But the water in there is actually only 66.2. So that's actually probably sucking heat out of the system at the moment. I was going to use that same blue insulation on the HERMS I bet it's already had it and everything, but I thought I'd run it without it today, just so see how hot this thing gets. When it was coming up, it got pretty warm, but nothing to be concerned about. So I'll see when we try bring it up to mash out temps. Well, that's my system anyway. So it's still got a few tweaks and bits and pieces to work out. And so the biggest one's that electric kettle there. That would be good just to keep the noise down, and living in Queensland, the heat factor, even in winter, it still gets too hot up in here.